I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addicts Wife Podcast, episode number 185, Rock Bottom. Hello, my lady. If you have a spouse that is struggling with a pornography problem, then you are in the right place. My name is Jolene Wynn, and I am a life coach, a member of the LDS faith, and the wife of a former porn addict. And in this podcast, I am going to teach you how to change the way that you are affected by your husband's choices. We can't change him, but what we can do is change the way that you respond when he makes the decisions that he does. I'm going to teach you how to manage your brain, how to process all of the emotions that seem so overwhelming to you so that you can finally live a life where you aren't living in fear of triggers and relapses. And by learning how to manage your mind and process your emotions, you are no longer going to be running on an emotional roller coaster, but you are going to start feeling so much more in control of your life no matter what your husband is doing. And I'm going to teach you all of that on this podcast. I can't wait to get started with you, and I'm so glad that you are here. I promise you, you're in the right place. Hello, my ladies. How are you? I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Do you guys want to know what I did? I put up Christmas. Well, I started to. I have not fully put up all my Christmas decorations yet, but we did start. We got the outside Christmas lights put on, and we put up 2 Christmas trees. I like to have a fancy Christmas tree, and by fancy, I mean it has like ribbon and pretty ornaments and like flowers and feathers and pampas grass and things like that. And then we have the regular Christmas tree that has all of the ornaments, all of my ornaments from when I was a kid, all the ornaments that my mom gives my kids every year. And so we have 2 trees most years, and we have 1 fake tree. But the other day after Thanksgiving, after all the cousins left, after all my family left, we went and picked out a Christmas tree. My niece was still here and she came with us, and it was so fun. We got a Christmas tree, we put it up, and the kids decorated it with all the ornaments, and they get ornaments every year. So they found all their ornaments and put them up, and my husband put up the outside Christmas lights, and it looks amazing. He even wrapped our flagpole in Christmas lights. It looks sensational. And so now I have 9 boxes, Tupperwares of Christmas decorations in my garage that are waiting for me to figure out, to unpack and figure out where all of the decorations live in my new house. This is our first Christmas at our new house. We moved the last week of January last year. So this is where I get to figure out where to put everything, because I had a place for everything in my last house, and this house is different. So I got to figure out where to put everything. And that's going to be really fun. And I bought a new candle. I like candles. And it smells like Christmas. It's perfect. So I'm one of those people, you guys, as soon as Thanksgiving is over, I'm all 100% in for Christmas. And I love that this Christmas season is going to be long. I think it's great. I'm so excited. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and that you had very minimal family drama. I was going to say, I hope you had no family drama, but there's always usually a little bit, right? I hope it was minimal. I hope everyone survived. And if not, you can come coach with me and I'll help you through it. Okay. I did want to remind you guys that I'm so excited about this. So today is Sunday, and that means that tomorrow, or the day that this comes out, is the day that my Becoming Unbreakable course kicks off. It is 5 days that I am doing live coaching and training in workshop style, meaning that everyone who comes to the call, I'm going to be working with them one-on-one. It's not just going to be me teaching, although I will be teaching a tool every single day. It is going to be where I teach a tool, but also help you apply the tool. So this is taught inside my coaching program. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown. I want to give you guys a brief overview of what I'm going to do every day, because you can still join. If you are listening to this on Monday and you're like, oh, I missed it, I really want to join, you still can. All of these are going to be recorded. And even if you listen to this 6 months or from now or a year from now, it doesn't matter. All of these are going to be recorded, and you will have access to this course when you join my program. So if you miss it live, don't worry. Don't think it's too late to join. You will actually still get all of the content and be able to apply it in the coaching calls that you get access to. Okay, so this is what I wanted to offer. Okay, so I wanted to give you this rundown. I'm so excited about this format. Okay, so every single day this week in the Becoming Unbreakable course, I am teaching a different tool. And all of these tools are designed to help you implement the tools that I have mastered over my years of coaching thousands of women, and especially over this last year, as my husband and I have worked through a whole new set of mental and emotional challenges and relationship challenges. As I was going through them, I really intentionally asked myself, okay, what can I learn from this that will help my ladies? What can I learn that will help all of my women? And I was thinking of you guys and thinking of my clients, and this is kind of the culmination of everything that I've learned. So on Monday, today, the day that this comes out, our tool that we're going to be learning is mindful connection, how to connect with your body. If you don't know how to process your emotions, and if you haven't ever coached with me, you don't know how to process your emotions, then this is for you, okay? This is where I'm going to teach you how to actually do it. Again, this is something that I can't teach you on a podcast. We can discuss it intellectually, but this whole week is designed to help you implement it, and the implementation and the application of these tools is actually what's creating transformation, okay? So Monday is mindful connection. Tuesday, we're going to be talking about disconnecting triggers, right? If you struggle with triggers, come join me. This day is for you. When you are getting triggered, it's triggering an emotion, okay? And that's the focus of this whole week is our emotions. Triggers are triggering an emotion, and when you learn how to process that emotion, then we can disconnect the trigger from the response. And that's what I'm going to be teaching on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to be teaching how to rewrite memories. How many of you struggle with a date? You have a certain date, or you have a certain time of year that's really difficult. Maybe it's your birthday or an anniversary, or last Christmas was so terrible and you just don't want to repeat it. My husband and I were actually talking about this today. We were talking about our anniversary. Our anniversary is in December, and it's December 19th. And every year, some years have been more memorable than others, and sometimes it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and that's totally fine. I knew that when we got married. I knew that might happen. But we were talking about how we're coming up on our 15-year wedding anniversary, and he wants it, we both kind of want it to be memorable and want it to be kind of a fresh start, not like a do-over, but kind of a renewal, kind of a fresh start. And he was like, I don't want it to be just the same. I don't want it to be just an anniversary that I forget. I want it to be memorable. And he was like, I don't even remember what we did last year. And I said, well, I do. And it was terrible. I mean, it was fine, but it was terrible. I remember what we did. And I also remember that it was very emotional and I cried most of the night. Okay. That was my anniversary last year. And I don't want to repeat it. Right. And so if you have something like that in your head, if you have some kind of painful memory or something in you that says, I just don't want it to be like it was last year. I just don't want our anniversary to come every year, and I'm really nervous about it because I don't want this emotion to come up, right? This is for you. I'm going to be teaching how to rewrite the memories so that you don't bring your past into your future and keep repeating it, okay? On Thursday, the tool is going to be unlearning beliefs. And this is probably one of my favorite things to coach on. As a job, this is probably one of my favorite things that I get to do is help you figure out and rewrite what you believe, how to unlearn something that you've believed, see where it's attached and unlearn it. So if you believe that you're not enough, if you believe even remotely that your husband has pornography problem has something to do with you, if you believe that you are not pretty enough, if you believe that you aren't confident enough or that it's not possible for you, if you believe you don't make good decisions, if you believe something about yourself that you don't want to believe, this is for you. Again, come join and I'm going to teach you how to unlearn that and rewrite a new one. And then the last day, Friday, I'm so excited for this one. I'm going to be teaching you the tool of the space without words. And this is the most powerful tool I could teach you. And it's all about creating a space inside you where your mind goes fully quiet. And if that even sounds interesting, then come join us because that is going to be an incredible day. Okay, that is going to be this week, and I am so excited. I wasn't planning on giving you the whole rundown, but that was like a sneak peek for you guys, okay? If any of those resonated with you, come join. You automatically get enrolled into this course when you join my program. You will get access to it, not only to the live calls, but all of the recordings. You will get access to all of these tools, all of this content, all of this material. This is emotional processing in a way that I have never taught it before. And I know you're ready for it because I thought of you guys when I was creating it. And this is it. All right, ladies, let's dive into today. I want to talk about rock bottom, okay? Rock bottom is a concept that is thrown around a lot. Not thrown around, but it is, whoa, I just hiccuped. Sorry. It is a concept that I hear a lot, especially from women in the addiction realm, right? When they're talking about their spouse, right? And maybe you guys feel this way. Have you heard this phrase of, I know he has to hit rock bottom in order for him to change? Right? Have you guys ever thought this? It's very, very common. When you're dealing with someone with an addiction, you've heard the phrase that they have to hit their rock bottom before they can start going up. Now, here's one of the things that I wanted to offer. We're going to talk about his rock bottom today, and I want you guys to notice that sometimes what our brain does as the spouse is think that the rock bottom is going to be a circumstance. And when our brain thinks that rock bottom is a circumstance or a situation, then what it wants to do is try to find the correct variables and line them up in such a way so that we can artificially create rock bottom for him, or at least shove him in that direction so that he can go ahead and hit rock bottom so that he can finally start going forward. Does that sound familiar? I've heard this so many times on so many calls. I just don't know. I want to, this is where women get boundaries confused too, is they'll say, okay, I want to tell him that if he relapses again, that's it, that I'm going to leave. And we'll get into it and I'll say, okay, great. Why do you want to do that? Totally fine. Why do you want to do that? Well, I just want him to know that I'm serious. Okay, well, why do you want to know you're serious? Okay, well, I'm just kind of hoping that if he knows how serious I am, then that he'll change. Right? This is your brain having a sneaky thought thinking that there is a certain situation or circumstance, for example, you leaving, that will kick him into rock bottom and force him to change. You guys with me? Does that make sense? And even though we know that we can't force him to change, our brain still kind of believes that we can create kind of this set of scenarios. If we can just, almost like an equation, our brain thinks that if we can just find the right set of circumstances and situations and scenarios, if we can just get the variables all lined up exactly right, then somehow that will be able to create his rock bottom for him. And if we create the situation of rock bottom, then he'll change. And here's what I want to offer you guys today. Rock bottom is not a circumstance. Rock bottom is not a situation. Rock bottom is an emotion. It's an emotional rock bottom. And that's nothing you will ever be able to create for him. Does this make sense? You guys with me? This is why it's different for every single person. Some men, their rock bottom is their wife finding out. Some men, their rock bottom is their wife leaving. Some, it's losing their job. Some, it's having their kid find out. And some never need to hit a circumstantial rock bottom. You guys with me? Again, because it's not the circumstance that creates the drive to change. It's their thoughts and their feelings about the circumstance that make them want to change. So here's what I want you to take from today, ladies. Rock bottom isn't necessary for change, for him or for you. Now here's what I mean by this. When your brain thinks that the circumstance is what creates the change, your brain goes to work trying to change the circumstance in order to create the result that you want. The problem with this, when you're doing this for your husband, is it's never going to work because you cannot control him, ladies. So no matter what you do, no matter what you change, no matter what things you shift, it's never going to create the perfect set of circumstances that will automatically inspire him to change his life, okay? Circumstances don't create change. Thoughts and feelings do. Rock bottom is not a situation. It is emotional. It's all about reaching an emotional point where you pivot. And that's why it's not always necessary for a man to have a certain circumstance in order to change. He doesn't have to, quote unquote, hit rock bottom. because his rock bottom is just the moment he decides he's done. And maybe that's one day when he decides that he no longer wants to have the urge to watch pornography. Maybe that's one day when his wife leaves. Maybe that's one day when he finds out that she knows. Maybe it's one day when he loses his job. The circumstance itself doesn't matter. It's the day that he decides to pivot. Because here's the other thing. There have been just as many men who have lost their job, lost their wife, lost their home, lost their family, had their kid find out, all of the things, and that wasn't their rock bottom. You guys know that, right? There is no perfect rock bottom scenario. If there were, I would just hand it to you guys and I would say, okay, if we can create X, Y, and Z, then he will hit rock bottom and he will change. And I would give that to you. Absolutely, I would. But it doesn't exist because all of us think and feel differently about certain circumstances, right? Does this make sense? You guys with me? So if that's true, and it is, okay, then it means that we don't have to create the circumstances in order to make the pivot. In the same way that he doesn't have to create circumstances or wait for them to happen in order to pivot. It's the pivot, it's the shift, it's the transition into becoming a different person. That's the rock bottom. And we don't have to wait for circumstances to change in order for that to happen. Does this make sense? I have seen just as many men decide on their own that they're tired of pornography being a part of their life. And it's not like anything terrible has happened. And maybe their wife is still even supportive. They've just decided that they're done and that it's enough and they change. And that was their rock bottom. Their rock bottom was the moment they decided to shift. And what I really wanted to offer you guys today is that you have the same option. Over and over and over again, I see women wait until they hit an emotional rock bottom before they get help. In the same way that so many men wait until they hit an emotional rock bottom before they get help. And what I want to offer, ladies, is that you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the SOS. You don't have to wait for the rock bottom. You don't have to wait for the point where you can't take any more before you get help, before you say, yes, I'm all in, I'm signing up, I'm getting a coach, I am doing everything that it takes to get where I want to go. You don't have to wait for that emotional rock bottom. Again, our brain thinks that we're doing fine and that it's not a problem and that we can take care of it. Does this sound familiar? Because our husbands say the exact same thing. It's not a problem. I'm doing fine. I can take care of it. Until they can't. Until some kind of situation or circumstance happens, some result, some very physical, tangible result in our life happens as a result of us being quote unquote fine, and all of a sudden our thought becomes, oh, I'm not fine and I need help. And what if instead of waiting for that to happen and the fallout that comes with it, what if instead you were proactive and you just decided today, just like that? What if you just decided to pivot? Because that's really all it takes. It doesn't take hitting rock bottom in order for you to change. All you have to do is mentally decide that you're done. That you're done doing it this way. That this way is no longer working for you. That this way is not the life that you want to have. And you automatically shift. When you make that pivot, you shift from becoming someone who wants healing into someone who is healing. And the difference between that isn't the desire, because I know all of you want it. That's why you're listening to this podcast, right? All of you want healing. All of you want to feel better. All of you want to get past this. And that's a beautiful place to start. But the real result, the real way you actually heal and become a person who's healed is when you take the shift from someone who just wants to heal into someone who takes action in healing, toward healing, in pursuit of healing. There's a difference. Think of it like all of us want to lose weight, right? Okay. Again, universal example that I always use with my women, and it's just because of personal reasons. Okay. I want to lose weight. All of us want to lose weight, right? We have this thought that we want to lose weight, but wanting to lose weight doesn't actually make me lose weight. I can't just be a person who wants to lose weight. I have to become a person who pursues weight loss, who pursues health, who takes courageous action, even when it's scary, and especially when it's uncomfortable, toward the thing that I want in order to create it. You can't just want it to happen. You have to create it. I have to get up and go to the gym, not just once, but over and over and over. I have to say no to certain foods and say yes to other ones. I have to say no to certain drinks and yes to other ones, not just once, but over and over and over. That's how you achieve and create the result that you want. And the same goes with your healing. So don't wait for the emotional rock bottom because you don't need it. And when you do, it's the same as your husband's waiting for the rock bottom that's going to kick him in the right direction. You don't need the kick in the right direction. You can just turn yourself that way. And it's going to be a lot less painful if you don't wait. You can do this. Healing is possible. And if you want it, then I want to offer that you don't wait for that rock bottom. All you have to do is decide and commit. And that commitment is the hard part because it feels uncomfortable and it feels scary and it feels like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. But here's the thing, ladies, you've already done the hardest part. You've already found the thing that works. Did you know that that's the hardest part? You've already found it. You've already done the hardest part. Now you just have to say yes. You've already found it, ladies. How many years? You guys know how many years I spent looking for the right thing, the thing that was going to help me the most, the thing that actually had all the answers? It took me years. And look, now you guys have done it. You've actually found it. That was the hardest part. You're already doing the hardest thing. Now you just have to say yes. From here on out, it could be easy. But you have to change from being the woman who just wants it to becoming the woman who pursues it and creates it and takes courageous action toward it until it happens. And I know that you guys are there. If you guys are ready, and I know that you are, come join me today. Go to my website, jolenewind.com. You can join me for my Becoming Unbreakable course this week. You can get access to it, all the recordings inside my coaching program. Come join it. You can be a client for life. Sign up today. I love you so much, ladies. Don't wait for the rock bottom. Let's go. All right, ladies, it's time to rise up and take charge of your healing, and I have the best way for you to do it. I have created a lifetime access coaching program that I have designed specifically for you and exactly what you're going through right now. This is where I help you develop a personal mastery of all the tools that you're learning here on the podcast in order for you to create a permanent change. Go to my website, jolenewind.com. You will find all the information there and you can sign up today and we will start going forward. I can't wait to see you there.